For the second time in 3 days, some sports are halted in the Poland local school district.
The district confirms that they've had 4 positive tests of COVID-19 in several sports, and the cases could go up. Josh Fitch runs down what's being put in place after these cases came to light.
Derek and Lindsay, on Monday, 1 positive test in a student athlete caused all activities to shut down here in Poland until today. But just as football started, more positive tests stopped it, along with 2 other sports. Poland High School has once again taken action to slow the spread of COVID-19 within the district. Today, football, volleyball, and girls soccer have all been halted for 14 days following at least 4 more positive test results. Initially, 1 positive test involving a student athlete caused all extra and co-curricular activities to shut down. Following contact tracing and isolation from the district with help from local and state guidelines, activities resumed Wednesday but were short-lived. Around 10:30 Wednesday morning, football practice was stopped and students were sent home.
Now we received additional information that we didn't have yesterday, we didn't have in the preceding day, which was Monday. So once we received the information today about, it was 10:30 when I received it approximately, we then had to shut down another couple activities, one of which was football.
Janafe says Poland is following guidelines going forward, and some activities are still going on because tracing didn't link to student athletes in tennis, cross country, and in the band.
We're working with guidelines that are put in place by the CDC, all the way from the Ohio Department of Health to the County Department of Health to us. We think we're following those guidelines to a T.
Now, boys soccer is also temporarily suspended as a precaution, but not included in the 14-day shutdown. Janafe stressed communication from parents and students with administrators going forward is absolutely critical. Live in Poland with more local news, I'm Joshua Fitch.
In less than an hour, another team will be kicking off their season 2. Joshua Fitch joins us now from West Branch. Good evening, Josh.
Hi, Caroline. That's right. I'm here at West Branch High School as the Warriors are getting ready to host the Salem Quakers. Now, as of right now, everything is a go. It's a very light drizzle here in West Branch. However, as you heard Dana mention, if thunder or lightning roll in, those COVID-19 protocols still have to be followed. So what will happen is fans will go back to their cars, teams will go back to their locker rooms. Now, West Branch players don't have a long way to walk. However, for Salem, they have a makeshift outdoor locker room outside of the middle school behind the south end zone from the field. So if lightning rolls in, they'll simply go into the middle school to keep everyone safe. And of course, we'll wait that half hour and reevaluate. So a lot of moving parts, but as of right now, here in West Branch, everything is a go. Caroline, back to you.
All right, we hope that weather clears up for you.
Well, Josh Fitch rejoins us from Haycock Stadium at West Branch, where the Warriors are hosting rival Salem. Josh?
Hey, Dana, good evening. That's right, as you just mentioned, West Branch hosting Salem tonight. Now, West Branch Athletic Director Mike Helm tells me everything is a go at this point. The rain has stopped. Just to give you a quick weather update, there's been no rain. Both teams are on the field practicing. Now, as far as the fans, they have been rolling in steadily. At my last count, there was about 40 on the home side here at West Branch. Everyone is wearing a mask. Everyone is following protocols. Ken Harris, their head coach, says they are fired up and ready to go. Another rivalry match here between West Branch and Salem. For another rivalry taking place tonight, Boardman is traveling to Austintown Fitch. For more on that matchup, my colleague Corey McCrae joins me.
Thus far, those are the only 2 postponements on the MLB schedule. Tonight, the Pirates hold their home opener at PNC Park, and that's where we find Joshua Fitch. He's live with more. Good evening, Joshua.
Hey, Derek, that's right. It's another unusual opening day here at PNC Park. Obviously, as you just mentioned, no fans in attendance as the Pirates welcome the Milwaukee Brewers for a 3-game series starting tonight at 7:05. As we take a look around, not a whole lot going on around the ballpark. We saw a couple Pirates fans walking around with gear, but overall not a lot going on. And as you just heard, this is the Major League Baseball was just reminded this season is a very fluid situation after those 2 games were postponed following 10 positive tests today. As of now, Major League Baseball officials say there's no plan to postpone the season or cancel it, but made it clear this is a very fluid situation. We'll get the lineup set coming up at 21 Sports at 6. Back to you.
Well, to baseball, the Pirates are back in Pittsburgh for their home opener. Josh Fitch is outside PNC Park with more. Josh?
Hey Dana, that's right. The Pirates welcoming the Milwaukee Brewers in their first homestand here of the 2020 season at PNC Park for a 3-game series. Now both teams coming in with a record of 1-2. Of course, first-year manager Derek Shelton getting that first win for the Pirates last night over St. Louis. Obviously a lot of changes this season, a 60-game shortened season that includes an expanded playoff series. So manager Derek Shelton says this gives a young team like the Pirates to potentially make a deep run in the postseason. Now first pitch, little over 30 minutes away here at PNC Park between the Pirates and the Milwaukee Brewers. Steven Brault making his first start of the 2020 season. We'll have highlights tonight on 21 Sports at 11. One thing to note, the Indians and White Sox game has also been postponed due to inclement weather. There's a chance some rain could roll in over here in Pittsburgh around 8 o'clock. So we'll play it by ear and have much more coming up tonight at 11. Dana.
Well, for the first time since 2013, the San Francisco 49ers are going to the Super Bowl 2 weeks from today in Miami. Sports reporter Joshua Fitch joins us now with this exciting news. Hey, Josh.
Hey, Caroline, thank you. That's right, and the Niners will look for their 6th Super Bowl win, which would tie the Steelers for the most in the Super Bowl era. They're here because they started quick and didn't look back in the NFC Championship game against Aaron Rodgers and the Packers. Let's show you a little bit of how it happened. Kyle Shanahan put together a great game plan in Santa Clara. The crowd was really rocking as well, but this guy, Raheem Mostert, got things started for the Niners. In the first quarter, they take a 7-0 lead. He'd go on to have a career day because of more runs like this one. This time goes left side. That would make it 17-0. Now 37-20, they lead in the fourth quarter. Aaron Rodgers goes deep, but it's intercepted by Richard Sherman, the veteran, to seal the win. The celebration, of course, is on in Santa Clara. The 49ers win 37-20 and are going on to Super Bowl 54. We'll have much more from this game coming up in sports and hear from CEO Jed York and Raheem Mostert on the record-setting performance tonight. Caroline? Nancy Jane returned to her Niles home on Wednesday after winning a hard-fought battle with the coronavirus. Now retired, she has over 40 years of experience as a nurse and saw the signs right away.
I was sick. I was getting the fevers, hot and cold, and then I said to my husband, tomorrow I got to go to the hospital because this isn't good.
She spent 26 days at St. Joe's Hospital, most of which were in intensive care.
The doctor came in and he said, I'm going to put you in ICU, and he said to me, do you have any reservations about being intubated? And I said, well, I don't want to die yet, so they intubated me.
After spending 15 days on a ventilator, she gives all the credit of her recovery to the crucial frontline workers.
The nurses at St. Joe's were living the mission. I saw the care they gave, the compassion, and they were all very intelligent, knew what they were doing. They are all superheroes. They're absolutely superheroes. In my 50 years of being a nurse, I've never experienced anything like this. They're superheroes, and God bless them and keep them all healthy because they're there in the trenches working hard. This was truly a life-changing experience.
With more local news, I'm Joshua Fitch. The sweet sound of jazz echoed through Goleta Avenue in Youngstown this afternoon so the neighborhood could get outside and take part in a concert, one coming from a resident's porch. Frank Lev has been playing sax and other instruments for years. His 92-year-old father, Irving, has joined Frank on the porch a few times over the last month, putting some good spirits into the north side.
You know, I just thought people would like to have something to do, and the drive-in porch concert seemed like a good idea. Some people drive by, some people stay. A few people came and sat on the lawn, and they were very respectful.
Frank let everyone in the community know by using the Nextdoor website. It allows members of the neighborhood to join and see what events are coming up. Neighbors say something so simple goes a long way during this pandemic, and that there's no better way to spend a sunny Friday evening.
You just smile because somebody just genuinely wanted to come out and perform a concert for us, just out of the kindness of his own heart, just decided he wanted to just do this for the whole neighborhood. I think we should also do this, like, period. Without a pandemic being around, this is something good for the neighborhood.
It's nice to find something that I can do, you know. because I don't really make other big contributions, but I think everybody in their little way, if you think about it, you might be able to make some contribution. However small, it's still a contribution.
With more local news, I'm Joshua Fitch.
Hi everyone, with the volleyball season winding down, it's been a relatively successful and safe season with the COVID restrictions. Joshua Fitch gives us an inside look at how the Canfield volleyball program kept its players, coaches, and fans safe at every match.
If you've been to a high school volleyball game this season, you've noticed the safety precautions, but once the game starts, things seem to be back to normal. At Canfield High School, following safety protocols for games and even at practice has become pretty routine.
We do temperature checks before every game, before practice, before we get on the bus. We track everything. Our AD has been great with making sure that we're on top of things. You know, as hesitant as some of us are to want to wear a mask after you've been playing in a game, the girls have been super compliant, just making sure that they do everything that they can to make sure that they have a season.
We are constantly sanitizing balls. We shag at the end of practice. We separate them into 2 separate carts, and then we have a third one, and we go in and clean with rags and disinfectant spray. We wear masks up until the point where we can't anymore, and we really just want to emphasize that because there was a little saying going on before our season really started. It was mask up, Ohio. If you want to have a season, you have to mask up.
Administrators and boosters have stepped up big this year despite big fundraisers being canceled, with extra volleyballs, cleaning products, and even a new net. With more clean volleyballs, the more frequently they can be swapped out, keeping things moving smoothly during a match.
I'm cleaning, I'm scrubbing, I'm doing everything I have to keep this thing going. I tell you that it's this that in Canfield I have great parents and we have great kids, and I think that's the biggest thing to help this thing go on.
A huge thank you to the boosters, a huge thank you to all the administrators, teachers, healthcare workers out there. You've really gotten us to this point, and we hope that we're making you proud.
Joshua Fitch, 21 Sports. Now that there's pen to paper, fans, coaches, and players are ready to kick off their seasons. But there are a lot of restrictions that were reiterated in the sports order, which will take effect at 11:59 p.m. Wednesday. First off, the fans. Limited to family only with a few exceptions and a capped capacity too. For outdoor events, capacity will be the lesser of 1,500 people or 15% of the fixed seating capacity. For indoor events such as volleyball, the limit's 300 people or 15%. Either indoor or out, fans will be filed through one-way entries and exits, which also applies to the restrooms. For those attending, a face covering is required with some exceptions. There will be no congregating before or after games, all while a compliance officer assigned by each venue monitors the situation. Each venue is required to have a written operations plan prepared in coordination with the local health department. All of this on top of daily temperature and self-assessments from players, coaches, officials, and fans. Joshua Fitch, 21 Sports.
The Tigers host McDonald. Josh Fitch joins us from Tiger Stadium with a preview of that much anticipated matchup. Josh?
Hi Dana, thank you very much. That's right, Springfield tonight in their first game at home this season is hosting the McDonald Blue Devils. They, of course, are coming in with that perfect 2-0 record as well after beating Sebring and Lowville decisively in the first 2 weeks of the season. Now head coach Dan Williams telling me they want to establish the run early and possibly even open up the passing game a little bit more to spread that Springfield defense out tonight with their star quarterback Dominic Shadle. Now, of course, they will be run-oriented, but again, expect some more passing from the Blue Devils tonight. Now for Springfield, they're also 2-0 after defeating Mineral Ridge and Western Reserve decisively as well. Again, this is their first home game. Sean Guerrero, head coach of the Tigers, says they're excited for it. They're ready to welcome their fans into their stadium. They want to establish the run, but they also want to keep the Blue Devils offense off the field. That's going to be one of their biggest keys tonight, so it should be a good one. We'll have highlights on the Great Clips Overtime Report tonight. For another matchup, sports reporter Corey McRae joins us from Columbiana, where the Clippers are hosting Valley Christian.